The FF14 6.3 patch has been out for quite a bit now, and I've been wanting to sit down and talk about my experience so far. If you're unsure about whether or not you should be resubbing to the game in this patch, or you'd like to hear my 2 cents on the new content, you're in the right place. This video contains no story spoilers, but if you'd rather just avoid all footage altogether, feel free to look away and just listen to it. My name is Ivona from momsdan.com, and if this is your first time around here, subbing is a good idea. I make simple FF14 guides that'll answer some of your questions in no time and give you quick in-game wins. I also live stream on this channel a lot, so if you're a fan of awesome communities, in-game and other highlights, I'm sure I'll see you around. When it comes to the MSQ, I think my perspective was really shifted from curiosity to anticipation, as I finished most of Final Fantasy IV before Endwalker 6.3. I don't regret my decision to go through that story, as I've actually been having tons of fun with the game, and it helped me connect with the post-Endwalker patch crew a lot more than I ever thought I would. I think that the patch story as a standalone is quite good, but knowing the premise of the story makes it so much better. If you haven't played Final Fantasy IV yet, or you didn't even know where the post-Endwalker story originates from, I highly recommend giving it a go. If you don't feel like playing through it, but you'd like to know the story, you can look up a story recap or watch my own playthrough here on the channel. FF4 aside, I don't ever remember having as much fun with a character's internal struggle as I've had with Zero and her moral dilemmas over why humans are the way they are, and even though she's moving in a somewhat better direction, I have to admit I'll miss her cold rationalization of feelings. As the new trial is connected to the story of FF4 that I now know, Mount Ordeals holds a special place in my heart, not just for the story's significance, but also for the mechanics. The trial is a lot of fun, with mechanics that test how much you're paying attention to details and not just how quickly you move around. I had a lot more fun progging this one than any other previous extreme trials in Endwalker, and even though I'm yet to loot that mount, I'm having a blast. When it comes to the new Unreal trial, which is Sophia from the Containment Bay P1T6, I have to say I'm quite relieved when it comes to the overall difficulty of this place. After taking me days to kill Sephiroth for the first time in the last patch, and admittedly never going back there once I did, I'm finding Sophia to be a much easier and approachable alternative to Sephiroth. The fight is a little bit confusing at first, and getting yeeted off the platform can be aggravating until you get the hang of it, but once you do, it's a lot of fun to do this dance. Euphrosyne, the new Alliance raid wing, has overpromised and overdelivered in 6.3. Everything was overall amazing. The music, the combat mechanics, the designs of the bosses that invite simple thoughts, I loved it all. After being disconnected from the Shadowbringers Alliance raid due to not having played Nier Automata at the time, this is a much better experience for me, even though I'm currently going through Nier for the first time in the attempts to fix that. Endwalker Alliance raid is an FF14 standalone experience that you'll have no trouble following even if you haven't played other Square Enix games, and this time around it's very much worth it. When it comes to the Shadow Past's questline, I'm honestly failing to understand why this backstory isn't a part of the MSQ. I'd say it's more important to do it than any other side stories in the past like Scholasticate, Moogle Delivery Quests, even the Dragon Song were, as it gives direct information on the Archfiends and their lives before becoming what they are today. What we saw in 6.3 is looking like the finale of the story, but I wouldn't be surprised if they added more quirky and secretly super meaningful quests like this in the future. Therefore, if you haven't done the Shadow Pass questline for yourself, make sure to do so. And if you're not really a quester but you'd like to know the story, you can find my Shadow Pass questline playthrough here on the channel as well. The continuation of Tataru's Grand Endeavor questline is by far the best installment so far. I was initially a bit disappointed with the beginning of this storyline as it didn't quite feel impactful, but the direction of the narrative has been going in a great direction and I'm really looking forward to seeing where things go from here. I love that the characters from previous Alliance raids and optional trials are finding their way into the plot, and if you haven't done this quest yet, I definitely recommend it. I'll be honest, when we got the announcement about the continuation of Island Sanctuary stuff, I expected a little too much, as I thought we would get another 10 ranks to work through. Instead, we get 2, with not a lot of story and basically getting some new recipes and gathering items. I like Island Sanctuary and all, but upgrading it has felt pretty much the same as going through the last few final ranks of the original Sanctuary progression. The rewards are still pretty cool, but I honestly kind of wish we had more going on at the island. However, the quality of life updates, like being able to loot all the crops and animal leavings at the same time, is really nice, as they make being on the island a much more enjoyable experience. Overall, I think the 6.3 patch is living up to the FF14's standards of greatness, and even through the smaller updates and upgrades, it's clear that the dev team is putting a great amount of effort into making Eorzea a great place to be in. The patch didn't feel as impactful lore-wise as the 0.3 patches of the previous expansions, but since Endwalker is the culmination of the story, it's to be expected that things will get wrapped up in 6.5, unlike in the previous expansions. This patch has a lot to offer, and some stuff I didn't even get to do yet, like finishing the new custom deliveries, doing the new treasure maps, and spending more time in the new crystalline conflict map, as I'm having trouble with my timing of PvP when the map is live. Overall, I recommend coming back to FF14 for this patch, as there's plenty of new content to catch up with, and I think most of it was very well done. What do you think about the new patch, and what are you most excited about? Let me know in the comments, and stick around for more good stuff. Massive thanks to everyone supporting the channel, and especially our alphas like Kathy Spear on YouTube memberships, as well as Andyman, Space Cadet Rick, Garnet Williams, and Elijah Baker over on Patreon. If you'd like to join them and keep the content going, all the links are in the description of this video. Enjoy the new patch, have fun, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye bye!